Hello and welcome to my presentation about my dream job. So my dream job is to become an astronomer. And I always loved astronomy since I was like 8 years old, and I love doing research. I would also love to make my own discoveries, and yeah, I think this is a perfect job to do so. So let's start with the job definition. So the literal definition of astronomer is apply the principles of physics and mathematics to learn more about the universe. And I don't know why, but that sounds really fun to me. Doing research and making my own math is something I would love to do. What an astronomer does more specifically is gather information about stars, planets, moons, galaxies, and other celestial objects. They also have to write papers about their discoveries and share them with other astronomers. So let's now talk about education requirements. You need to have your diploma and a bachelor's degree in physics, astronomy, or astrophysics. That's all I could find, but there's probably a lot more math and science to it. Um, Three specific skills that are needed for this type of job. Well, first of all, you need to be a good team worker because usually you work as a group on a project and not alone. You need to be good at problem solving, researching, data analyzing, mathematics, and science because, yeah, that's the job. You need to be good at have a good knowledge about science related software programs because that's where the you analyze the data and yeah. Demonstrate three examples where you're gonna use those skills required for the job. Well, I'm going to use team working because, like I said, most of the research you do is as a group of astronomers. Um, I will use math, science, problem solving, etc. because the whole job is literally doing that. I mean, you do other things, but those are the main stuff. You also need good knowledge about science related software programs because that's where you're going to work. That's where you're going to analyze your data. And yeah. The salary. It's around 62,000 when you start. And then it goes up progressively to around $100,000 per year. But it's I have to say it's a pretty hefty amount. Two positive aspects and two negative aspects about being an astronomer. Well, for starters, you make a lot of money when you're experienced, but the main thing is that you get to work as a team that shares your passion and to make new discoveries. That's great to me because I never found or seen another person with my passion. Never in my whole life someone said they wanted to become something related to astronomy, and I will maybe finally meet other people that share my passion. Two negative aspects. Well, first of all, it takes a lot of years to become an astronomer, um, a lot of studying, but also there's not a lot of options nearby. Maybe I'm just bad at surfing the internet, but the only jobs I found were astronomy teacher or being a student doing research in university. I want to work for the Canadian Space Agency, but I've yet to find an astronomy job. I mean, I have time, but still, it's kind of disappointing. Working conditions. Well, for starters, you communicate using email or over the phone. They have a medium level social interaction. They usually spend their time alone in the lab, but they also interact with other astronomers. They nearly always work indoors, and they usually work normal business hours. Identify three adjectives or personality traits someone in this field should possess. Well, first of all, you need to be observant and capable of making sense of what you see. You need this a lot because when you look up, you don't get the sense of distance. So you can look at something and you don't know if it's a star, a planet, a moon, or an asteroid. So as an astronomer, you need to be able to to differentiate. Sorry, I said that wrong. Differentiate, whatever. You know what I mean. Every kind of object. You also need to be comfortable using a computer, because most of the work you do is on a computer, and you need to like transfer files, edit files, and analyze images stuff. You also need to be patient and determined, because you need to be able to stick to a difficult problem or theory, because until you've seen it through, but because it could take years to complete a project. What can make this job stressful? Well, obviously, your math or your research needs to be correct, or else your work will be worthless. You also have to make presentations of your project to other astronomers, and again, you need to make sure that your project is 100% correct, or else you would just look stupid. I'm just kidding, but kinda, yeah. Um, Astronomy stereotypes. Well, I heard this one a lot actually, and they said the only thing astronomers do is look through a telescope. That is ridiculous. Like, who would want to do that? Yes, astronomers look through a telescope, but that's not all they do. They can look through the telescope once and have enough data for the whole week or even more. Is this a realistic option for you? I think yes, it's an achievable goal. I already know so much about the universe, but I want to make research. I think it's a realistic option because I love everything to do with the subject, and so I will be motivated to go through the harsh environment of college and university. What steps do I need to do to make this dream a reality? Well, the main ones are I will need to work a lot. I'll have to go to the right schools and never give up. Thank you for your listening.